Yeah, I too now join the ranks of the guy with the cheating wife, the loser. That's how I feel now. So for the last 4 months, I've noticed that my wife, I guess I should give some info first. Sorry if this is a little obtuse and crazy, but I just found out like 2 hours ago, my wife is 31 years old. We have been married for 6 years and have one child, an amazing boy who's just a beast in boss hog lore. He's 4 years old, going to be 5 in May. I'm 34. Back to the point. She's been cheating on me for the last 4 months for what I think has been physical for 3 or 4 weeks. More on that later. Back in early December, she began getting on Facebook a lot more than often and started chatting up a co-worker. She works in a real estate office. Now this ducking guy is a married guy as well. He's a tad bit older than me, I think. Late 30 seconds, early 40 seconds, not sure. And I'm sure he has at least 1 or 2 kids. I know he has kids. What a guy. So I guess in February, I noticed that she was becoming sort of withdrawn and short with me detaching. I guess our sex life was still great at least 5 times a week, sometimes more. So I just sort of chalked it up as just being married and wife stuff. Then, about 3 weeks ago, our sex life trickled off big time. We've had sex 3 times since about the end of February. This is when I went into full recon mode. I know my wife very well. I've known her since we were 9. Childhood friends who lost touch when we went off to college then reconnected. So I know the lying bee well. I was told by a friend who called his ex-wife that the phone and Facebook is the key to catching intel on the lying bee. So that's what I did. Well, because I'm not smart at it, I got her Facebook info easily. Nothing was out of line other than way too much conversations and likes by each of them, but nothing out of line. So then the quest for the phone began. She's clever. She tried using apps that delete all messages by selected numbers. But because these apps require a computer to start them, the first time her hard drive wasn't swiped yet. So tonight, while she slept, I got into her computer and was able to run a system. Restore her phone back to the beginning of December. What I found was shocking 1,000 of texts to this guy, and then I got 2 February's texts. This is when I think it got physical. Then the pictures. I'll never forget this ever in my life. These pictures of her ducking and all over this guy's little pecker will forever be in my brain. That was tonight. And surprisingly calm. I guess I'm just waiting. I want to divorce her. I hate her now, but my little boy is the X factor. I want him to have his mother. But if we divorce, I will fight for custody with every fiber of my being. It will be intense. Scorched earth policy. I will ruin her life if she tries and takes my son. It's game on. And it's a game that she will lose badly. So that's my early Sunday morning. And beautiful. So, Cal, how's yours? Advice needed. Please, comments. Okay, my friend, the only good news you've got right this second is that, fortunately, very fortunately, you are here on this channel. Despite your terrible reason for being here, this is one of the best things that will ever happen for you. Here you will get an unbelievable amount of the best advice you could ever get. We have been where you are and got the t-shirt. And there are many, many of us, and we have sadly become experts in dealing with infidelity. There is nothing about it that we as a collective do not know about this, so ask away. You will get info on getting still more info to confirm even more, and you will get a lot of what amounts to sound, legal, and importantly emotional advice. You may not even like some of the advice you get, but trust me, it will have been all for your benefit. Sorry you are here, but you are amongst friends. Good luck with it. The first thing to do is break up the affair. You do that by exposing the affair to friends and family, his and yours. My first call would be to his wife. Do not let her know you are doing it. Do not reveal your sources and make sure you have copies of proof where no one can get to them. It's best if you can talk to his wife just before you confront your wife. Are they telling each other they are in love? Update. I'm fairly sure that I hate her and I will be maneuvering for divorce. I have all photos saved on local and off-site locations. Also, I think I want to serve her papers at work. I want to ruin her as much as possible. So I'm going to wait till Monday to start things through. Hopefully I can hold out. We got to go to her parents' house for anniversary dinner tomorrow. Not ours, theirs. They've been married 28 years. Law. Looks like we'll fall short of that mark by a few. I'm glad my friend told me about this and sites like it. Hopefully it will help. This is really crappy and I will be exposing the jerk to his wife. That is a fact. I will tell his wife before I confront her if I can. But I kind of want to catch her by serving her at work in front of the home. Hopefully this guy. What a punk. Little B, I'd like to have 2 minutes in a room with this guy with no consequences, but I'm not going to do anything physical to him. I could wreck him, but I won't. And it's my wife who's more at fault than him anyways. There is no way I could be with her. I'm not that forgiving. I think I could have, maybe forgive her, except if it wasn't so sexual. But she performed for him. That's just too much. Some things just stick. You know, I'll never respect or love her the same even if I did take her back. She's changed things forever. I got to get out and take my boy with me. She's damaged and broken. It's done. Our love is ashes now. It's only the aftermath. She cheated me out of our marriage. She will not cheat me out of my son's life. Never going to happen. Comments. First off, act naturally. Find a cover story to explain why you may not be acting totally regularly, but do your best. You want to take her by surprise. Second, consolidate your treasured items. Think hard about what you would want to take with you if you had to leave. They might not be expensive or important things, but they are yours. I, for one, have this little antique measuring cup that means the world to me. Get that stuff put away someplace safe. When you start to lower the boom. Third, when you lower the boom, see if there is an alienation of affection or mental stress lawsuit. You can also tack on, so both can be served at work. It doesn't matter if it sticks. You just want to be able to serve the son of a bee at the same time as your wife. Everyone else will be able to connect the dots just fine. Management will sit up and take notice. Fourth, have a long talk with the lawyer. Do not go cheap on the lawyer. You are not a good judge of what is possible or desirable. However, recall that the lawyer wants to make his job as easy as possible. You need to direct him forcefully to represent your interests. So if you want to go after him and he keeps poo-pooing you, tell him where the bear crap in the woods. He either drops you or he does his frigging job. Do not make a decision without waiting for 3 days. She's been ducking him for 3 weeks already. Instead, come down with an intestinal bug. So sloppy seconds aren't on the menu. Have a good friend. Be able to call you at the last minute for a fake emergency if she seems frisky. Unlikely, but there you are. Put a VR under her seat in her car. Make sure it doesn't make any beeping noises. See what that brings up. Watch your finances. See if she's about to do a runner. Have a little sheet with all your CC numbers and phone numbers already centralized for easy calling. You probably will be using that. Set up another account using your middle name as a first name, or use your son's social security number. They might not think to look under that. If you trust your parents, use an account they set up with you as a person with access. This is so when necessary, you can switch your direct deposit or cash your check quickly and easily with HR. If her phone is under your name, be able to cancel it at a moment's notice. Find a courier service. That is the easiest way to hand deliver the message to the owner's wife. Have them call in advance at her home or work to establish her whereabouts. So look up the phone number and address as best you can. See if you can get a copy of her company's employee handbook to see if there is any leverage there. Don't necessarily use it, but it's good to know. On a personal foo, until she is served. If you sold some of her valuables on eBay, it's joint property. Just saying, I would definitely take all her lingerie, cut it up and toss it in a dumpster. Far away. Sexy clothes to Goodwill, leave her. Nothing. So on the day, send a courier to the owner's wife, have them served. Send a package to her parents and family who matter to her. Block her calls for 2 hours. Send the phone number of your wife to the owner's wife just as a courtesy, and let mom, dad owns wife and family all get in touch with her. Then shut down her phone, block her, Facebook, and change the password on her email. Fun, not satisfying in the long term, but it has its amusements. The sheer stupidity of people documenting their get-togethers never ceases to amaze me. Many of these memoirs end up published on the internet. The bad news is, you need to get rid of her unless you want to see a constant overlay of her extracurricular activities every time you look at her. The good news is that women are relatively easy to replace. To be fair, so are men. There is really no reason, despite what they say about kids, to be saddled with a woman who carved your heart out and that you can never trust again. Well, maybe her loyalty would make an excellent role model for your kid. Update. Alright, I got a few minutes of alone time. She's outside playing with my son, acting like things are just normal and peaky and we're the perfect little family and she's the perfect little wifey, and mommy makes me sick. All these responses are terrific. Thank you guys. I do apologize that we're all here because we married lying, cheating, but I know I'm strong enough to handle this and I will. I have ours around the house. Had them put in about 2 weeks ago. Check them almost daily. I got the in both cars, but I haven't checked hers in about a week. Do I even want to at this point? All there could be is more pain in it. I don't make 100 grand or anything like that a year. My profession is more about saving lives and running into burning buildings when most people run out of them. But maybe that's why she's cheating, so she can move up in the world. I'm going to do everything that you guys have told me about. Exposure, scorched earth policy. I'm still really calm but angry but in adequate control. I perform well under pressure, and this is the most emotional pressure I've ever been in. So I guess in the next few weeks, we'll see what I'm made of. Trial by fire, I guess. Here she comes. Gotta go. Have to get ready for her parents' dinner. Check you all later. I hope everything goes normal at this thing. Pray for me. I'm doing about as good as one can expect after seeing pics of the woman you love doing. You know what to another dude. Yeah, I've been talking to 5 attorneys these past 2 days, having my crew cover for me. Their support is unlike anything I've ever experienced. Truly brothers tested in fire. I love them. I will be exposing the affair via serving wife D papers at her work. Then hopefully with some careful timing, exposing to D-Bag's wife or woman. I can only sympathize with what she will go through. I'm torn between showing her pictures or not. I think I just want to give her messages. But if she needs more, I will. But the text messages are graphic enough. Again, I'm going to get through this with support from my crew. You guys and my family, I will be a stronger and better man. Not that I needed her affair to make me a stronger man, but I will come out of this on top. I was basically in the mindset that my wife was cheating on me, at least emotionally. And when she stopped having sex as often as we normally did, I knew it was more likely than not going physical. But seeing pics of your wife ducking and going all over another man was heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. I have an incredibly strong stomach and am used to seeing really horrific things that human beings have happened to them. But seeing those pics actually made me sick. Small update, things are pretty good, all things considered. The divorce will be finalized in about 7 weeks. Hopefully it's gone relatively smooth on the splitting of assets and custody. A few bumps here and there. He agreed to joint custody $5,050 for our son, as I believe that a son needs his mom, even if his mom cheated on her husband. Speaking of, I can't help but kind of give myself a high five and chest bump the way I handled D-Day and exposure. Not only did I accomplish the goal of having ex-wife served at work, but it happened in front of everyone, including the OEM at the same time. I exposed her to friends and family far and wide. It was legit. She freaked. Law came home crying and absolutely shocked. She was crying and shaking. I thought about holding her, but then I realized I didn't want to catch cheating W syndrome, so I just watched the breakdown. Then I said in a cold, calculating tone, I need you to pack a few things and go stay with your sister or parents for a while. I don't think our son needs to see you in this state, so please get off the floor and start packing some things and leave. And she did, owned it, worked lore. I really couldn't believe it, but full-on exposure and a cool calm attitude crushed her into submission. I wanted to do a huge celebration, maybe dance or something. But I kept my cool demeanor as she got packed while crying, saying how she loves me and I'm her heart and soul seriously, and how she didn't love Oma and that she thought of me during her time with him. Blah blah blah. I just was like, yeah, I understand, but you need to leave, so just focus on packing your clothes. She said she wanted to go get our son and take him with her. I said not going to happen. I guess I kind of got all alpha male on her and kind of intimidated her a bit, and she really started crying. She even said that I could go have other girls and stuff and then we could be even. All sorts of really crazy and fucked up things started coming out of her mouth, like she thought I was having an affair when she was pregnant, and that she feels that she's not good enough for me, and that she doesn't like how women look and flirt with me, and that I could even bring another girl home like all guys. I fantasized about my wife with another girl, but I was never really serious about it and it would break her heart. But she would let it happen. I mean, just some wacky stuff. Well, she left, but not after she tried to duck me. I mean full on like crazy style. But I turned her down. I got to admit it was really tough, as my wife is so beautiful even when she cries. Then she just got quiet and cried into my chest. She said, "Do you hate me?" I said, "I don't hate you, but I can't stand the sight or sound of you and you really need to leave, but yes, I kind of hate you." Then she left. It was really tempting. If I didn't have a son, I would have done it. I would have handled this whole thing differently, but I didn't want my wife from finding out somehow, and it is hurting me in the eyes of the courts. Funny thing though, that evening, my ex-wife tried to duck me again. So in theory, I could have pounded Owen's wife, then ducked my ex-wife in the same day. But like I said, I'm trying to keep the drama at bay. So my ex-wife's parents were massively disappointed in her, both her father and mother, but they didn't shun her or disown her. But suffice it to say, they gave her some harsh truth and advice. The only real shunning she has gotten is from her best friend, who has also been cheated on by her ex-hubby. She is very, very upset with her still, and it's been nearly 7 months. I think they might never be friends again. She's also a pretty good friend of mine. Also, my parents, especially my mom, is disgusted and pissed off big time. They haven't talked to her, nothing, in 7 months. Shame, because they got along pretty well but not known. However, some jerks and bottom feeder friends have really come to her aid and really talked up her cheating and talked down my reaction, especially this one, how she works with toxic friend. But what can you expect? Rumor has it she's cheating or cheated on her hubby lots. So, birds of a feather, you know. But my ex is really regretting what she's done, and I have no doubt she's still in love with me. Problem is I don't need or want that her type of love, but I can't help but miss her, and I do crave her. I've had a lot of women since, but I think of my ex a lot. Not good, but damn, nothing's perfect. And I think I executed my plan pretty well. I can't help how I feel. I just feel the way I feel. You know, my only question is what should I do to maybe not think about her so much? I can't have no contact, and even if I could, I don't think I'd really want to lie. This is really the only hang up right now. Someone asked if my wife knew that I still love her. I know she does. I mean, I haven't told her, but she can feel it. Prior to my wife, we had such an incredible bond, not just sexual, which despite having a little kid was really good. But the emotional bond is what I love the most. I just felt so close to her. I felt that she was a part of my being. I can't really explain it. It was just so good. A little background about me. I know that I've come across as a pretty good guy, but prior to me meeting my wife and having my kid, I was a very selfish person. I was a bad boy too. I got into fights a lot. And basically my routine was this: duck, fight, and drink. I did things in my early, and even until I was about 24, that I'm not proud of. I've been the other man many times when I was younger, so partly I feel that I deserve this in a way. And that's why I really don't want to engage in poor selfish behavior karma. But most importantly, my son, he needs his father to be a strong leader, a man who's got character, toughness, confidence, and wisdom, not the 23-year-old version of his dad. It's all about being the best for my son. It's my only purpose here. I failed being a husband. I will not fail being a dad. That will not happen. And then I cried uncontrollably. I wept. I think it was just the stress and the realization that this all happened in about 2 hours. I just sit on the couch and cried for a while. Then I stopped and took a long, cold shower after I felt pretty good. Our son was confused that mom wasn't living in the house anymore, but I told him that mommy and daddy are going to not be around each other like we used to. That mom and dad have decided the best thing would be to just be mom and dad. Then I hugged him and held him for what seemed like an eternity. Big changes happened, but with my incredibly family support and great friends, I adapted to being a single dad pretty well. The ex-wife moved in with her parents for a few months, then got herself a small house to rent. I never kept our son from his mom when he wanted to see her and stay with her. I let him. I feel that because I have such a strong relationship with my mother, my son deserves at least the opportunity to form a bond with his mom. Even if his mom did something bad to his father, I felt that being a good father and adult required me to encourage a good relationship with his mom. But it hasn't been all smooth sailing. I've had some setback and have almost been on the verge of ducking everything up. When I told the mom wife she wanted to meet, after we met, she totally wanted to duck. I could have ducked the wife of the guy that ducked my wife. I thought about it. I really did. But then I thought that I wouldn't let my wife's behavior curve mine, so I didn't do it. But again, it was so. I was so tempting. My ex-wife didn't stop trying to win me back. She consistently still does, makes advancements towards me, and I've almost slipped up. Almost, but I've done okay. This has been a very emotional time in my life, and I found a newfound energy and extra gear. I guess I have trucked through it now. I have had some fun when my son is with his mother, and oh boy, his ex-wife really gotten jealous. I can't help it. With all this stress, I need release. And there are plenty of women who are willing to release it with me. Blah, nothing serious, but I got a consistent booty call list going on. It's nice, but I do miss my wife. I won't lie, I love her big time. It's been so tough. I mean, my God, she's absolutely stunning, and we just have it now. I'm going full steam into the divorce. I will not reconcile with her or placate and become a doormat, but I do crave her. It makes me sad and anxious. I wish I could go no contact, but that's impossible, and plus, if I'm honest, I don't really want to. Like I said, emotionally draining. This has been the only thing that shocked me about this, how much I still love my ex-wife. On D-Day, I basically despised and lamented her, but it did change, and we have had some arguments, and she has gotten crude and downright mean to me. But for the most part, I can tell she's very remorseful about what she did. I have thought about taking her back, but then I think about the lying in the pictures, and I just can't do it. There's something in me that won't let me. I guess I just wish it never had happened. I wish it were an emotional affair or on assist or something. Maybe then I could have reconciled, but I can't. And I won't, and I'm sad about it, but life goes on, and I'm a better man and father because of this. So like my grandpa used to say, shave that dog. It teach it to hunt, chin up, cowboy saddle, and you got things to do. I don't want my wife out of my life. I just don't. I'm still in love with her. I wrestle with hatred and disgust with her, and then love and craving her. She knows this. One of the reasons I updated was because what was going on late last night, she started texting me. First it was about our son and stuff, then she started really ramping it up. She was texting me really dirty. I mean, stuff that was like really hot. I can't help it. So I guess we had like texted or whatever. After this, I was really confused and felt embarrassed. Then this morning she started up again and told me she loved me and that after the divorce she still won't give up getting me back. I just am shocked. I guess I'm very confused. I actually want her to hate me or be disgusted with me. It would make this go easier right now. I don't know. What's up? My wife is very competitive. She likes to win at things. She a lot like me in that respect. I think this is her way of coping with losing me. She's perceiving that she can win me back. It's sad. But I can't help that my son told me today that he wants to see his mom. So I think I'll let him stay with her for at least a couple of days. When I told my wife, she was overwhelmed with happiness. She said that the way she's encouraged and let her spend time with our son has been amazing. She told me that I was an amazing man, full on charm. I tried to not let it make me happy, but it did. I guess I still do care how she views me, but I think time will fade. That I hope law and I am not going to not divorce her. I am fully committed to that. I have been unrelentingly methodical in the way I have gotten everything I wanted. After D-Day, I contemplate not letting her see our son. Possession is 9 out of 10 of the law, but I thought that would be overtly abusive and nasty using my son against his mother. Plus, she is a good mom. Her affair stuff happened during her work hours. Never did her affair impact her time with our son. She's a good mom, just a piss poor wife, and lying cheating but live and learn, you know. I'm going through with the divorce, but I am still highly attracted to my wife. I'd say just on looks alone. She's a 9, so it's hard to not want her. Plus she's not a bad person. She just made a really bad choice. It's only been 7 months since I got confirmation of the physical affair. I talked to a therapist about this and he said it's perfectly normal. And that when one is connected emotionally and physically the way I was with my ex, it's going to take a very long time and it sometimes never fades. Would I take my wife back after the divorce? The chances are slim, but she has handled herself very well during this and I couldn't be happier about that for our son's sake. I'm glad the kid's with her because I think it's time for Daddy Flood to have a little fun and cut loose this weekend. I think some beer, football, video games and calls are on the schedule. Update: I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was epic. My son and I had it with my parents and family and my kid and his cousins played football till it was dark outside. It was a real awesome moment. It was cool. Damn, sometimes, well, most of the time, LOL, I wish I was kid again. It was a great day, but my ex and I were chatting yesterday and she asked me something that has bothered me. She said, "Do you regret that you met me?" I was shocked and said, "Hell no. Meeting you and having you in my life saved my life. You made me become a better man. I was on a path of poor behavior and destruction before I started with you. I was not a good guy, partying all the time, lying, cheating, fighting, no direction before you. I sucked at life pretty hard. It may have appeared that I was the ultimate player with a great life and stuff, but I was a broken person." Then I said, "Why do you ask that?" She said, "Well, you've moved on so well, the way you handled my stupid affair, then the separation. And on top of that, being the dad, you are then getting a promotion. Then you have had a lot of other women. I just feel I'm not and never have been good enough for you. I just feel empty. I feel that you'll forget about me again." A convoy that turned from how cool our son is in the AFC West playoff picture turned into this. They caught me off guard. It really did. Thoughts: I'm trying to disconnect with her, but I can't. She and I just are dissimilar and have common stuff, I guess. It's beginning to get murky here. I was so sure of everything prior to divorce. I mean, I was a calm, cool, methodical BS, ready to set flame to the marriage and her affair. I think this is just repressed emotions. It has to be right. Some sort of delayed sadness and second-guessing mechanisms. I'm confused. Shouldn't it be easier after divorce? I hate this now. I feel dumb. I feel off. Part of me is like, this is all a ploy. She's a selfish, dumb W who has no respect for you. It's all about her. She's trying to manipulate you. Don't be dumb. Then part of me is like, wow, I guess she really is having a hard time with this and she does still love me. What do I do now? Thoughts? And please, guys and gals, say whatever you really think. I'm a blunt kind of guy. Don't kid gloves this. I value your objectivity because I think mine is dwindling here. Yeah, the pics are bad. They just are what they are. And one of the more heated conversations I had with her, this was about 2 or 3 weeks after she got the boot. I asked her why she had the pics and kept them on our home computer. She said, "I don't know, I'm a bad person. It was the thrill of doing this. I don't know, I'm just a terrible person and wife and mother. I don't know why I just did it. So yeah, the pics are the icing on the cake, so to speak. If I even do consider, if consider reconciling, there will be certain aspects that we will have to address in therapy big time. She's already seeing a therapist, which is good for her because obviously her low self-esteem, impulse control, and deceitful nature ruined her marriage and family. I'm not taking her back, at least in the immediate future. I see no reconciling. The divorce is finalized. The marriage is dissolved. I got everything I wanted. It was a very clean break for me, but I think of her all the time. And I love her. I have not told her that, but I do. The dinner is Saturday, so I guess we'll see. I still can't believe she had an affair. It is the ultimate enigma and paradoxical event in my life. We were fine with finances, we still made each other laugh, and most importantly, even into the emotional, and I think even a bit into the PR part of the affair. We were having sex 4 to 5 times a week, really good sex. It did almost cease the last 5 or so weeks of her affair, that's when I knew. But I run through all the scenarios about the marriage that may have caused her affair, as I do think we did become distant. But that was because of her affair. But I really can't think of a reason why she cheated. And that is scary because it just affirms my perspective about my wife. She cheated just to do it. She cheated so she could have that over me. She cheated for the thrill and rush. I don't think I can take someone like that back. How about karma? Yeah, this is karma. I believe in it. What goes around comes around. I guess I ruined relationships when I was younger. I was a punk and douche to the extreme. But I did change. I can't imagine being the other man now. I just can't. I never cheated on my ex-wife. I never needed to. I had a very, very wild and fun time from the age of 20 to 24. I grew out of that area of my life. Thank God. Too bad. I can't say the same for my ex. She just had to have a little taste. Stupid girl. She's immature, and again, this is something she can only work on and fix. She has a lot of work to do with herself. And our son loves his mom so much. She's a great mother. She even was during her duck sessions with Owen. They only occurred at work, and that is the sole reason I didn't fully destroy her world and crush her. My son loves his mom. As long as she continues to have a great relationship with our kid, I'm okay. The other stuff with her I'll figure out. It's just going to take a while. I thought I had a quick recovery going on. I guess not. 2 months later, so just like 10 minutes ago, I got a call from her. It was pertaining to our kid. And then she asked me out on a date. LOL. Now she has been trying to duck me for months. It started on D-Day and it really hasn't stopped. Although the last few weeks leading up to a divorce that was finalized last week, she was going from angry super diva B on wheels to, I can't live without you, I need you type person. So yeah, now I said on your dollar home slice, I might consider it. And she said, well, yeah, silly bear, that's why I'm asking you. I said, where? And she was like, anywhere you want. So I said, a restaurant that is 5-star and famous. And she agreed. Now I'm not inclined to miss out on a 5-star meal. I mean, for a lonely old civil servant that maybe pulls in 50 grand a year, this sounds pretty good. And plus, I think I just need to duck her out a bit. Really, I can't think of any reason not to do this. Divorce is done and done. Marriage is dissolved. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Comments? Well, I guess it depends on your intentions and if she is aware if she was just your ex. But there were no kids involved. I would tell you, Sherman, do whatever you want. But like, you are going to have a relationship with her related to your kid for the rest of your life. I will tell you, be careful in what she expects from you or be honest in your intentions. If the most you can offer is a FWB or if you really think that in the future reconciliation is possible, be honest about it. If she agrees with whatever you propose, then no problem. But if she is expecting something different from you, be careful. You don't want to make this woman your enemy or make her resent you. After all, she still can make your life difficult. Regarding your kid, you are clearly still too attached for casual sex. You went from a free meal to her being super sexy and awesome. You are even making excuses for the other man. What man could resist her? Well, many men could after what she did. Not saying this is bad, but call it what it is. Opie responds, few things. She is not dating whom is out of the picture. He is getting divorced and taken to the cleaners. Righteous payback. This is why you always tell the other spouse. They sit back and watch the show. She knows I've been playing the field. I'd say somewhere between 11 or 12 chicks. Nothing serious. I just am what I am. A player always was. This will not change. She is going to have to win me back and prove to me she's loyal and not a cheating home. I am not paying for it. She is. I don't really care if she dates other men. Just as long as she doesn't bring them around our kid for at least 1 year. This was in the custody agreements for both parties. My son doesn't know what his dad does when he's with his mom. I will not bring women in and out of his life, and his mother will do the same. I am still very, very attracted to my wife, and I feel I'm entitled to a few things now the divorce is finalized law. Well, more than a few if you get my drift. She knows this doesn't mean that we are dating. I think she just wants me. The level of duck me now vibes I've gotten from her since D-Day are incredible. This is just the latest and most blunt. Like I said many times, I still love her. She's not a bad person. She handled this divorce in a pretty much awesome way. She's a good mother and a beautiful and sexiest duck woman. I mean, I can't blame scumbag home for taking the bait. She's super fine, and I'm going to take what I want. Crazy. Last year or so, just nuts. Is it odd that I feel better than I have in weeks? So much for minimal contact, just about the kid. I guess in a way, it would complicate things if we had sex, but I'm not sure it really would. I think that maybe if I bang her out again, maybe I can start to move on a bit. Now I could really be cold and have her feed me and then be like, thanks, but I got a jet. Now that would tick her off law. Many have wondered if having sex with her would trigger me or give me mind movies. I don't really know. I don't think it would, but maybe it would, as far as some have said about her wanting to get pregnant. She does not want to have any more kids. We decided that a few years ago she wanted our son to be the only child so we could spoil him rotten and give him everything law. But I think that she just really feels that one is enough. I'm pretty sure she feels that way still, but I guess there's always a possibility. So maybe I'll just use protection. I am not reconciling with her. This will just be a wine and dine, Mr. Flood. Then I get to have fun with her. We're not. Bottom line is this. Go the way I want it to happen. I will not bang her, then be like, oh my god, I'm so in love with her, I'm ready to take her back right away. Let's go to counseling or some crap. Nope, I'm just gonna eat and maybe duck her. I could just let her give me, you know what, or 2 or 3, 4, no, maybe 5. Yeah, 5. Sounds about right. Then maybe I'll make her buy me a new car. Then we'd be just about square. Seriously, though, if she even wants a chance at seeing me on any level romantically, she has a lot to prove. She will do all of the heavy lifting. But like I said, I'm a single guy just playing the field. She's one of the many on the docket. I'm not doing it for revenge. I'm doing it for fun. Plus, 5-star restaurant, bro. I mean, come on now, for some poor firefighter and single dad. I don't get to eat at 5-star restaurants all the time. You gotta take those opportunities when they come. And I didn't see videos. They were pics. And thanks for the reminder, law. Yeah, it was pretty crap. Like I said, I'm getting wined and dined incredibly well. Then if I deem it to my liking, I'll spend the night with her. It's not going to hurt our son in any way or fashion. My ex-wife is not vindictive. To me, she wasn't when I exposed. She wasn't when I filed. And she wasn't when we divorced. She had a moment here and there, but it really wasn't anything that bad. I said things, she said things, it happens. Her affair is all on her, hence why I acted in the decisive manner I did. My ex and I don't hate each other. The divorce for both of us was difficult because we missed each other so much, not because it was a hard divorce or nasty breakup. The emotions are still hot, that much I'll say. And with emotions like we have for each other, I guess things could go wrong. But like, what really? Is she going to false reconcile with me? No. Is she going to break her vows? No. Is she going to take my kid away from me? No. Get half my stuff? Nope. How about my pension? Nope. What about the house? Oh damn. Nope. I got that. To see where I'm going with this. It's literally all on her. The expectations and stress are hers and hers alone. I'm all good. Be friends. Don't be friends. Love me. Hate me. Don't really care. But I do want my 5-star meal that I do want. What do you guys think about this story? I think Opus still thinks about his wife a little bit too much. Do you agree? Comment down below, Southern Belle, and enjoy the weather.